So now we're going to look at a different type of prism that we haven't seen yet, which is a trapezoidal prism. And again, we're going to look at surface area. So our example is asking us to find the lateral surface area, LSA, and total surface area, TSA, for the following shape. So looking at this shape, we're sort of thinking about what classification does it actually fall into. First step is sort of thinking about what your shape is, what that actually represents. So this is a trapezoidal prism, because if you look at this trapezoid down here as your base, anywhere along the height, it's the same thing until you get to your back face when you actually have the exact same trapezoid at the back. So our common face is actually a trapezoid. So anywhere sort of you make those cuts, you get that same shape happening over and over and over again. So I'm going to pull the base off to the side and look at it as a trapezoid. So we have this sort of generalized shape. And we have 6 inches and 16 inches, 18 inches, and along our slant here, 20 inches. So that's our base shape. So that's the one that I'm going to use when I deal with my base area, and my base perimeter is going to be looking at a trapezoid. So let's focus on that one to begin with. So looking at our units, they're all in the same unit, so I don't have to do any conversions. So let's find the perimeter and the area of this particular shape. So let's start with perimeter. So we can go to our reference sheet, look at a trapezoid. So a trapezoid is right here. So the sort of shape of the idea that we have 2 parallel sides and then 2 other sides associated with it. So top and the bottom. So our perimeter is just adding up all of our sides. Our area formula, again, something we may have to look up, is our top plus our bottom multiplied by our perpendicular height between those 2 things, divided by 2. So let's find those 2 values first. So our perimeter is just adding up around the outsides of our base. So we have 6 plus 16 plus 20 plus 18 all around the sides. So 6 plus 16 plus 20 plus 18 gives me a total perimeter of 60 inches. So remember, this is just the length, so it's in inches associated with it. Area, we have a formula for. So top plus the bottom multiplied by the perpendicular height between those 2 divided by 2. So what is our top and our bottom? It's important to make sure that we're identifying those carefully. So we want to find 2 things that are perpendicular to each other. So that would be the 6 and the 18 would be considered our top and our bottom. I know it's sort of flipped around so that they are kind of our sides, but you have to watch carefully that those 2 are actually parallel to each other, and then you have a perpendicular height between them. So we don't really care about the 20 associated with area. We care about our top and our bottom, 6 plus 18 multiplied by 16 divided by 2. So 6 plus 18 are parallels multiplied by a perpendicular divided by 2. And when you put that into your calculator, do the mathematics around it, you end up getting 192 inches squared. So now we're ready to move into looking at what the question is actually asking us for, which is total surface area and our lateral surface area. So let's start with our lateral. So around basically the outsides, ignoring our 2 ends. So lateral surface area, remember for a prism, the standard formula is perimeter of your base multiplied by the height of your prism. So we already have our perimeter of our base, which is 60. And we want to multiply that by the height of our actual prism, or the length of our actual prism. So it's not really looking at the base, but in the actual prism. So this would generally be our height or length between our common faces. So that would be 14 in this case. So 60 inches times 14 inches, and again it's inch by inch, so we end up with getting a lateral surface area of 840 inches squared. Total surface area, again for prism, formula is lateral surface area plus 2 times the area of the base. So we're adding in those base components. So our lateral surface area is 840, and our base, we got 192 inches squared. So again, plugging that into our calculator, we end up getting a total surface area of 1,224 inches squared. Important to watch carefully in sort of prisms where your common face is. So unlike a rectangular prism, this is the only one that we can choose where it's the same shape throughout. We'd have to look at as a trapezoid. We couldn't use this as our common face because that wouldn't be necessarily the same shape throughout. So again, watch that carefully in terms of identifying which is which.